welcome back to Salty Sunshine. We're in scorching hot Miami. I am dreading going outside every time I go to walk my dog. It is crazy. Um, Happy week, everybody. Like, please, if you do have dogs, I really recommend you watch, like, look at the temperature, look at the UV, look at all that. Early morning, you can walk them a little more. Midday, no. Midday is go outside, try to find shade, come back in. It's just too hot. I already have two people that have told me. One person knows someone that lost their dog. They literally were just out middle of the day, which you can't do. And they went back to the car and the dog just kind of fell over and died within minutes. Like, people don't understand dogs don't sweat. They don't process like we do. We could be out in the sun dying and like forever, but we will be okay. Our bodies are different. Like dogs, that's why you never see like stray dogs like walking around in the sun. Like they're always in the shade until sundown. They can't handle the heat. So please, especially if you have like those Frenchies or bulldogs, but all dogs actually, they need to be, it's like so hot outside. It's too much for them. And they do sell, if you want to be outside a little longer but try to be in the shade, buy them those cooling scarves. They sell all types of forms. Like they sell ones that are actually cool to the touch and they stay cool for the dog. They also sell scarves that you wet them and it stays wet and so it cools them around their neck. I actually told the lady in my building, because she has a big English bulldog, and he's so cute with this mushy little face. And I told her to get one and she got one. And now she's like, I've never felt better about taking him outside. I don't take him for long walks, but the short walks we do, I feel like he's always cool. He doesn't breathe as hard. So I'm like, oh my God, that is so great. So please, if you're dog lovers, animal lovers, keep your dogs cool. They can, the thing is like, they drop dead like within a matter of minutes. Like you don't have, there's no time, you know? If they're panting, if there's saliva slipping from their mouth, that they're too hot. And the answer is not to give them water. The answer is to keep them in a cool space in front of AC, the cooling scarves, all that. So please. Anyways, speaking of Miami, being a Miami native, we have here in South Miami a place called Deli Lane. It is an iconic place. It's been there for 40 plus years, and they're tearing it down to build condos. The good news is they're relocating to another spot, but it is iconic. It's an iconic little strip, and they used to have all these live bands, and it's just like great brunch, breakfast. Like South Miami used to be such a beautiful, it's still beautiful, but it's used to be like a hangout place, and I don't know why over the years it kind of died. It's almost like what happened to Coconut Grove. Coconut Grove used to be bustling. When I was in high school, oh my gosh, it was so happening all the time. That's where everybody went. Then it kind of died. It was like a ghost town. Then they revamped it. Now they have all these new restaurants and places, which are way too overpriced. So I think that's a mistake. Even though more people are around, I don't know. I think more people would be shopping and doing more. The shops aren't great either. They're too high-end, too boutique. Nobody wants to pay $200 for a shirt. But it is happening. So I feel like South Miami used to be really great. Now it's kind of a ghost town. And they're actually tearing down Sunset Place, which is that big mall in South Miami, and they're rebuilding it. So they're trying to revamp it now. It's a beautiful area. South Miami and Coral Gables are my two favorite areas in Miami. Coconut Grove I like, but I don't because it's too expensive. So what's the point? You know what I mean? I don't want to walk around and like you want a water and it's like $6.50. I don't want to, that bothers me. It irritates me. But anyways, that's that on Miami. And I see Bethany Frankel, she moved to Florida, but she actually bought a house in Boca. So I think she has an apartment in Miami Beach and then a house in Boca. That's what it is. I'm curious to wonder why she chose a house in Boca. She probably wants to live like peacefully and like close enough and then go to the apartment whenever she has like events or stuff to do, but mainly be in Boca, which makes sense to me because Boca's a new place to be too. It's like a little north of Miami, like 45, no, it's like an hour and a half, I'd say, from Miami, you know, traffic and everything. But it's close enough and it's a beautiful place, and everybody that used to live in Miami and now hates it because of all the changes and all the people moving here, and it's like annoying. They're moving up to Boca, Del Rey, Daytona, all those places up there, Jupiter. And yeah, so earlier I was listening to the Justin Bieber, his new album, Swag. I hadn't listened to it. I just heard, the baby song, That's My Baby, which I love that song. And so I went to listen to the album. I'm like, I haven't heard the album. So I put it on while I was like doing housework stuff. And it's really nice. It's a very different feel from what you're used to listening to from Justin. It doesn't feel very poppy at all. It feels, I'm not going to say elevator music, but it's very smooth. Like it's very nice to have in the background. It's enough like beats that it's uplifting, but also not like chaotic. That song he has with, crap, forgot her name. I don't know. The song he has with the girl. I don't know if she's a rapper, but I don't like that song. I heard it and it's just not my thing. But the other songs I like, and I think it's smooth. There's nothing that really stood out, but I don't think I finished listening to the whole thing, but I'm gonna keep putting it on because I like it. It's really nice in the background. I don't know what's going on with Justin, but something's going on. I'm not going to speculate, but he definitely looks frail. He looks so skinny. He looks out of it, and he's posting a lot, which he never used to do that much. He's posting a lot of content that is bizarre, I think, for him to post, since they're quote unquote kind of private. He doesn't look good. He looks, he's a cute guy. He's a handsome guy. And yeah, he has his kooky style sometimes which takes away from like how hot he can look. But now he looks like worse than ever, I think, as far as like attractiveness, because he just looks out of it all the time. He's too skinny, too frail. The pants are falling off of him all the time, which is half style, half because he's so skinny. But I don't know. But I like his album. Couple alert. Pamela Anderson and Liam Neeson. Everyone's going crazy over these two, and for good reason. Because Pamela Anderson is a gem, and Liam Neeson is a gem. Liam lost his wife to his beloved wife. He loved her so much. They had such a great relationship, and he lost her to a freak skiing accident. She hit her head and skiing, and she died. And he's been single ever since. So it's really beautiful to see him connect because they have this new movie, The Naked Gun. Remember The Naked Gun? That was an old movie, so this is like a sequel. And I'm going to definitely watch it. And they look so cute. Like when they're in interviews, it's so obvious that if they're not dating, they're definitely in that zone of almost dating. They're like really into each other. They really enjoy each other's company. And they just want to see where it goes type of thing. They're not announcing anything because they probably don't know themselves, but they're definitely into each other. That is so obvious because, she laughs and she looks at him and she waits for him to answer and he like beats around the bush in a playful way. And yeah, they're totally into each other and we're here for it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. She's dated, sometimes when you're young, you do the dumbest things, right? Because you don't know anything about life. And it depends like your environment, how you grew up, your family, what school you went to. Like everything plays a factor in the decisions you make. And you're going to date around the circle you're in and all that stuff. And then later on in life, you kind of grow into who you really are. But so much time passes that you can like end up staying single forever after like traumatic relationships. And then it's beautiful to see like, because sometimes it's too late, sometimes you'll never meet someone new. And then sometimes someone comes across your path. It's just hard to meet people, especially in today's world with social media and the antisocial stuff. And Tommy Lee was a terrible experience. She had a string, even though they were truly in love, it was a terrible relationship. And all her other relationships were they weren't great. None of them were healthy. None of them were like fulfilling. So I feel like she just had a string of all that. Didn't know who the hell she was objectified by the world, objectified herself, in my opinion. Sorry, you don't just get objectified, you also can objectify yourself if you're naked all the time. That's just how it is. But anyways, then she grew up. She went back to her, Canada and her farmland and all that, came into her own. And now she's like who she really is. And it's like so nice to see. And I love it because now she has a second chance to have the type of relationship that actually feels good. That's not like nerve-wracking, anxiety-filled. Oh my God, everything's a problem, and are they doing this, and are they lying? And it's like, ugh, who wants that? I don't know how people are always in relationships like that. But I can't wait to see if they end up actually really together. So I'm rooting for them. Ozzy Osbourne, R.I.P. It's so sad, right, to watch his family and all his fans, and they call him the Prince of Darkness, but he really was a Prince of Light because he was hilarious. He was a freaking train wreck when he was young, but then he turned a corner and he turned out to be such a great dad and husband after really bad relationship times. Let's not forget that. But no, he was great as far as like his fans and his character and his persona. And he was obsessed with dogs. He was obsessed with dogs, which is such a good sign in people. When people really love animals, that means even if they're fuck ups, they are down, like at the core of it, they're good people. And he even said in one of his clips, he's like, they asked him, do you believe in angels? And he said, well, dogs are angels. I'm like, hello, that's why I love him. I mean, there's a reason why people gravitate towards him. Like, that's how I feel. And that's like so accurate. Yes, dogs are angels. They're probably sent from God. Dog spelled backwards is God. So anyways, we're gonna miss him. I hope Sharon like is okay. She's already so skinny. My God, if she stops eating more, she needs to take care of herself. I hope they put an IV in her because she's probably devastated. I mean, she is devastated. You could see in the funeral, these poor people can't even like cry without everyone videotaping them. It's so disturbing. Okay, what did I watch on TV? I watched The Honey Wives on Netflix. Holy sock porn. That's basically a porn series, a lesbian porn series, a gay. They're calling it the gayest show. I don't know if they said of 25 or just in general. It's very gay, which is fine. I'm just saying, like, it doesn't matter if it's men or women. It's just very pornographic. And I don't need to see all that. Like, I don't know. I don't enjoy, even if it's woman, man. I don't want to watch so much of that. It's too much. It kind of overbears the story. But whatever. It's kind of slow also. Like, the storyline's kind of slow between, like, episodes 1 and 4. It starts to get better around 4. And then it gets real good. But it's fine, right? I don't know why I feel like a recurring theme lately is that they make these shows. First of all, Netflix just churns out shit like there's nobody's business, and a lot of it's garbage, right? It's like a lot of Lifetime feeling things because they're just trying to. It's like quantity over quality, so it's like a lot of it kind of sucks. That show We Were Liars on Prime was like garbage. I'm like, wait till the end. No, thank you. My time is precious. I'm not going to watch 8 episodes. So on the 9th episode, I could go, oh, great. Like, no. If there's 10 episodes, I need at least 7 to be good. I don't want to watch shit 8 episodes just for the 9th. So anyways, it does get better. It's not as bad as We Were Liars. We Were Liars was bad from the beginning to the end. I quit in the middle and I'm never looking back. The Honey Wives is actually really good. I love the lead girl. She's the one that played the wife in that show Billions on Showtime, which I loved that show. And her name in the Honey Wives is Margot. She's the main one. The only thing is, to me, I think she's wearing a wig. I don't know why they do the wig thing when women are in show like J-Lo. I feel like all her movies, a lot of them, in that movie Enough, like she's wearing a wig. They always do the wig with the bangs. Like, what's with the wig and the bangs? Like, why do they have to have that? They're playing real people. Like, how many people have like that short haircut with the bangs and like that mousy, weird brown hair? They do it to Jennifer Aniston, J-Lo. Like, why? That wig needs to go die somewhere. I hate that wig. And so Margot in the Honey Wives, I think she's wearing a wig, and it looks like a very obvious wig. It's kind of distracting. I'm not gonna lie. Fine. The other girl that she was having an affair with that's married to the cop, the sheriff, and she cuts it off with her, she also looks like she's wearing a wig. Why are they wearing wigs? Why can't they just put like extensions in with their natural hair so it looks more natural? I don't know. That's just a side note. It doesn't really have to do with the storyline, but I love Brittany Snow. She's the other character in there, and her poor husband, my God. How many times is she going to say, I'm sorry? Like, I wanted to smack her, but I love her as an actress. The only thing, too, in the Honey Wives, Margot's character was really upsetting me because she was so freaking bossy to Brittany Snow. Brittany is like, I gotta go home. The girl wouldn't let her go home. She hijacks her, puts her in the car, but Brittany also was annoying because she wouldn't push back. She's like, no, I'm gonna go home. I'm calling an Uber. Like, you're not gonna tell me what to do. I'm like 40 years old. I don't know, whatever. I don't drink. Oh, but you have to have a drink. Oh, she just kept pushing. She was so pushy. It actually pissed me off. That's the Aries in me. I'm just like, stop. So that kind of annoyed me. But the show's actually really good, starting episode 4. And I want to, obviously they left it open. It's kind of based on a book, I think. So there's definitely going to be a season 2 to see what happens at the end. And I did see like these questions online, which they do make sense, right? I'm going to do spoilers if you haven't seen The Honey Wives. Skip this part. But so they blame the guy's mom, the pastor's wife's mom, right, for the killing. And when they go to her house and talk about it, then she frantically goes and cleans the outside of her car, making it look like she did kill the girl. But she didn't kill the girl, it turns out, at the end. So why the hell is she frantically cleaning her car? So there's all these like loose ends that people have questions about, including myself. The other thing, when they caught Brittany Snow on camera in the forest and they charged her with murder, why didn't they catch Margot on camera? Because Margot was there too, and she's the one that actually murdered her. So there's some either F-ups or I don't understand. Like, what are the reasons for this? Because there's like some loose ends. We need them answered, and I don't know who's going to answer them. What else did I watch? Oh, Ballard. Oh my gosh. If you guys are Bosch fans, I'm obsessed with the show Bosch on Prime with, I forgot his name. I think they're also based off books. They're detective shows. If you like a cop show, a detective show, a nitty gritty, you're in LA in the mountain show. Like, it's so good. Not mountain, like hills. Bosch had like 3 seasons. Then after that was Bosch Legacy, which I think had 1 or 2 seasons. And then that's finished. And now it's Ballard. Ballard is another detective and she knows Bosch and she's part of the mix. So Bosch does do some appearances in Ballard. But Ballard, I'm sorry, it's really good. I saw some people online saying it wasn't that great. I loved it from beginning to end. It was awesome. It was really awesome. I really enjoyed it. So if you liked Bosch, Ballard is out for your viewing pleasure on Prime. I started to watch The Accountant too, but I'll get back to you on that because I had to stop watching it. I had to go somewhere. The Summer I Turned Pretty. Oh my God, it's so funny because I started watching The Summer I Turned Pretty, the first season, and I was like, oh, this is cute. Like, you know, Hallmarky, whatever. I'm like, I'm too old for this crap, but it was cute. Like, you know, the little, you know, you like to see young love and kids grow up. It's like remembering when your kids were little and whatever, and when you were young. So fine, it was cute the first season. The second season got on my nerves a little, right? Because when you have like a girl with 2 brothers, it's like, stop. I don't know. It gets icky, but fine. And then now season 3, I saw probably 3 or 4 episodes, I think. But I quit. I'm over it. I don't like where the story's going, and it's like too young anyways for me. I was fine with the first 2 seasons, but the third is like, I'm not into it. So I stopped watching it. So I don't know if you guys are watching it, if you like it, but I'm out of that. I Know What You Did Last Summer, the movie's in the theaters. I'm gonna go watch it on Tuesday. I'm very excited. I obviously watched the first 2 movies from back in 80 something. And I'm so excited. Jennifer Love Hewitt and Freddie Prinze Jr. I don't know who else is in it, but I'm very excited. I'll report back to do that. So there's so many sequels coming out from old movies, which is fun. It's nostalgic. Another movie coming out December 25th, which you'll know what I'll be doing on Christmas Day, because there's nothing more that I love to do on a holiday than go to the movies. And second, this is the movie of a series of books we did in our Salty Book Club, Housemaid. The Housemaid. There's 3 books in the series. We reviewed all of them. And the movie's coming out December 25th. I'm very excited, and we'll report back. So mark that in your calendar. Spencer Pratt. He is going head-to-head with Gavin Newsom. He's all over the place. People are rooting for him. He's trying to fight the fact that all these quadrillions of dollars were raised for the LA fires, Pasadena fires, and no one's seen $1 of it. I'm sure people have seen some of it, but, you know, this is a worldwide issue. there's always so much money raised every time there's a disaster. And I think certain organizations are worse than others, but I think a lot of it is just garbage and goes to admin. I swear. It just goes to admin because they need to change these laws. Per the law, and I don't know if it's different in every state, but you only have to allocate, I think it's like 5% towards the actual cause. And the rest can go to admin. What is admin? Salaries, buying buildings, all the admin, the company, like the guy of Goodwill, which I think Garcelle's dating, the CEO of Goodwill, which I believe I saw a post that Garcelle from Real Housewives of Beverly Hills is dating him. He's a billionaire or millionaire, and you should not be a millionaire for being the CEO of a nonprofit. There's a problem there. Why the fuck do you have millions of dollars when it's charity? That's not okay. They need to fix the laws. Like, that's why there's so many nonprofits. They're bleeding everybody, and everybody's like trying to help people. That's why I like mutual aid. When COVID hit, there was mutual aid. There was no one getting paid for it. People were just collecting money from their community to help other people in the community. That I love, because there's no admin. There should not be any admin. And if there is, because sure, if you're doing it full time, you should like be able to make a living, fine. But it shouldn't be millions of dollars. And it sure as hell shouldn't be only 5% towards the cause. That is crazy, right? That's why Bethany Frankel, with her Be Strong and Global Empowerment Mission charity, she's always reiterating the fact that they don't 100% of donations go to 100% of the cause. Nobody's getting paid. Everything, they're giving out cash cards, food, clothes, whatever they need. They have the warehouse full of stuff. And every single penny you give goes to the cause. And that's how it should be when celebrities are involved, when government's involved. Now, I know other ones like Goodwill, fine, but no, not millions of dollars. Like at least 60%, 50% should go to the cause, not 5. It's just crazy to me. But so he's fighting that. And I think it's a huge issue. It's like they raised all this money. They did the same thing with Puerto Rico. Remember J-Lo? I think they kept touting how they raised all this money. Where did it go? They should have to do a spreadsheet and put it on public knowledge, like what money was spent where, because this is baloney. But anyways, what else? Oh my God, the poor couple in the Arkansas murder. Now, this is a really messed up situation. I mean, obviously all killings are, but this was so pointless. And these 2 little girls now are orphans. Devil's Den killing of Clinton and Kristen Brink. A married couple was killed while hiking at Devil's Den State Park with their 2 daughters on Saturday. They were 43 and 41 years old. The parents, they were walking on a walking trail, and their 2 daughters were 7 and 9 years old, which thank God they weren't hurt. But this psychopath comes out of nowhere, starts attacking the dad or the parents. The mom runs and flees with the girls, tries to get to safety at the visitor center. And then she runs back because she knows her husband's getting killed. So she runs back and she gets killed. Does it say if he used a knife? I don't know I'm assuming, because if he used a gun, it would have been like right away. And it wouldn't have taken so long for her to even like run back to try to save him, and then she gets killed. So thank God this person in the same area took a photo of a guy that was just standing there like looking into the forest, and with that photo they were able to identify and do a sketch of who the guy was. It shows the person from behind appearing to look out into the trees. It was taken by somebody else. So that's great that they had that, because I feel like they would have never caught him. There was no one there watching the brutal attack. So then after that, like, he was on the run and no one knew who it was. And then because they did the sketch or whatever, they identified him, and he is a teacher, a young teacher. This guy's dealing with children, which is crazy. And that's another thing that has to be changed. The system, the government is just so backwards. And there's all these different departments, and the departments don't work together, and the information, like the states don't work together. If he's like in one state teaching at a school and he has like major issues, which he did, he had complaints from parents, he had complaints from teachers, he was like too friendly with the little girls, having the little girls sit on him, wanting the little girls to like play with him in the room, like extra with cards or whatever. He was weird. He was a weirdo. And They fired him because of that. Why is he now allowed to go to another state and apply for a teaching job? Like, no one talks to each other. That should be like a national registry with his name. Like, you know what I mean? Why was he allowed to go teach again? So he was 28 years old and he admitted to it. So after that, he went to get his hair cut, and there's a video in the barber shop, and the lady, the hairstylist, he comes in and she's like, okay, cool, whatever. She's alone in there with him. She must have nightmares now, because imagine dealing with like a serial killer. He probably has killed other people, right? And we're sure like that's not the first time if he's so bold to do that. And so she's sitting there and she's like halfway like buzz cutting his hair, whatever. And the cops come in and arrest him. And she's like freaking out because she's like, oh my God, I'm like touching a monster, a literal monster. So he was 28, was a teacher, and he killed these parents. Nobody knows why, though. I don't think he's answered the question of why he did that. And it's interesting because if he was weird with children, you would think he killed the parents like to take one of the girls. But I don't know. Like, I wonder, like, what was his plan? Because the girls got away. So killing the parents, what does that do for him? You know what I mean? Was he going to rob them, take the wallet? Was he going to like try to kill them and then go find the kids? I don't know. I don't know what his motive was. It's really bizarre. But yeah, sad story. Those poor girls, at least they have family. Apparently they're with family. Some people don't have family. So that's a good thing. The TikTok cult, remember that Netflix show with it was called like 7M TikTok cult? That house, that quote unquote church house in California was raided for sex trafficking and drug dealings and stuff like that. But I don't think they arrested a bunch of people in there, but they didn't arrest the main guy, the head, whatever they call him, pastor. So that's interesting. I haven't seen anything new come out on that, but I wonder where Miranda, the dancer, that her family did the Netflix doc, I wonder where they stand on this. She looked happy. She keeps posting, so maybe they're just not part of it anymore. Who knows? But that was interesting. It's been a few years since that came out. Oh my God. So the drama, whoever watches Love Island season 6 knows about the show After the Villa, the Janae and Kenny breakup. Oh my gosh. What drama. It's really sad to me because I really liked Kenny on the show and I really liked Janae and I thought it was really cute. I mean, you know, these people don't have to last forever after the show, but you don't like to see this kind of breakup. Apparently they went out to like a party and something happened that they got in a fight. She saw stuff on his phone from a group chat with his friends and everyone is assuming. We don't have proof. We haven't seen it. We don't know what she was mad about. Like, this is just from her posting and reposting Leah, and Leah like unactivated her account and everything. So, or deactivated. It's something to do with the fact that he was using her and couldn't wait to break up with her, wasn't happy with the money he was making. He thought he'd make more, and he can't wait for the show to be over so they could break up. And apparently he sprinkled in some racist comments. Like, but I like to, with this and everything, I like to wait for more information to come out. We haven't seen the verbiage. She could be exaggerating. We all do it, or she could not be, but I like to wait to see like for real what's happening, because I really don't like public breakups. I feel like this should have been like handled privately. She doesn't need to involve the public. They're not her friends. You know, the people in the public are really evil and trolly, and they're just gonna come after you with death threats. And what's the point of that? You know, like maybe just like handle the breakup, and maybe later you could say what happened, so it's not as fresh and heated. I don't think it's good to involve the public. We all know the public is gross. Just look at the comments on social media. People are crazy and they're trolly. And I don't know what he said. And if he did say stuff like that, that's really sad. But again, we don't know the proof. So we're dealing off assumptions and the posts that they're making. So I caution people to wait for more information or just stay out of it. It's really not anyone's business, but it's really crazy, the drama that's happening with that. And it's sad because they've been friends for like years now since the show ended. So I hope they're all good and they go private. All right. So the last thing I want to talk about, I came across, this is health related, and I get really excited about like health stuff. And, you know, as you get older, you realize how bad everything we eat and like what should we take, what we shouldn't take. There's this doctor on TikTok that is debunking all these, you know, the health and wellness space is full of people, like they're actors. They think they know everything. They're not doctors. They tell you, you need to take this every day. Like, why? Like, you don't know if that affects your liver, your kidneys. Like, they're just giving bad advice there. And it's kind of dangerous, actually, because that's the only downfall of TikTok. I feel like everyone thinks they're a news reporter. Everyone thinks they're a doctor. Everyone thinks they're an influencer. Everyone thinks they're everything. And they're really not educated to give this kind of advice. And one thing is to say, I've been trying this and I really like it, but like to sit there and claim things, like this is the point of this doctor that I'm talking about. He clips these videos and he watches them and he's like, you know, a guy talking about, if you take lemon with water, this is what happened. He's like, no, if you just drink the water, it's the same. Like, he's kind of like saying this, there's no basis to what you're saying. And so you have people out here going in circles, buying all this crap, doing all these things, and it's bullshit. So, and some of it couldn't even be harmful. Like, one guy was saying to take, I forgot what vitamin or chemical or supplement, and he's like, that can actually be harmful to you if you're on another type of medication for something. So he's just out here blindly giving information that's wrong. And so anyways, I came across this one lady on TikTok, and she was talking about how her stomach was so bad from colitis and all these stomach issues that she was literally down to eating 3 or 4 foods. And even with the 3 or 4 foods, she always felt sick. She never liked to leave the house. She was always doubled over, gas, pain, blah, 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 blah. So she came across this podcast with Sue Becker, and Sue Becker is the founder of Bread Beckers. And basically the whole premise is she's listening to this lady talk on a podcast. Oh, the podcast Apothecary, something Apothecary, and it's all about like health and wellness. So she's basically saying the reason the world is sick is because we need to be eating bread or the grain or the wheat berries that bread is made from, but we need to eat it straight from the wheat berries. In other words, we need to get, there's all different types, right? There's barley and rye and red hard wheat berries, soft hard wheat berries, white hard wheat berries, all these berries. You have to buy those, which are, boil them, or the best way is to get a bread grinder to make into flour. So you get, like, it's Nutrimills one, they sell a bunch of different ones, and you buy those wheat berries, you put them in the grinder, it comes out really soft flour, and from that flour you make your bread, your cookies, your pancakes, your muffins. But basically the best, easiest way to be consistent and eat it every day is to make bread. You can make 6 loaves and like freeze them and use one a week or whatever. But the whole point is that these wheat berries have to be cooked right away, and that's where all the nutrients is. So basically back in whatever 90s, the 70s, 80s, 90s, when they discovered all this like bread making, they couldn't shelve it because it would go bad very quickly. So they took out the bran and the germ, and that's the nutritional part of the flour and the wheat berries. And then they would put it on the shelf so it wouldn't go bad and people can buy and consume it. But people started to get sick. There was there was all these like diseases going around and nutrient deficiencies. And the government said, listen, you need to put back the nutrients because people are sick. And they said, F off, because we're making a ton of money giving the bran and the germ to the pastures for their animals on the farms. And we're selling the flour and everyone's buying it and we're making a ton of money. No. And so like 5 or 10 years passed or however long, and the government came back because everyone was getting sick. They had all these like outbreaks of all this stuff. And they said, no, we're demanding that you do it or we're going to shut you down. So what they did is they didn't stop doing that. But what they did is put back fortified vitamins, which is synthetic vitamin, whatever, which is not great for you, right? So just to like make it a little better and a little healthier for people. So she's basically saying the girl on TikTok said that listening to this podcast, she bought the Nutrimill, she bought the wheat berries, she makes her bread, she eats 2 to 4 slices every single day, and it's literally cleared up her colitis. She can eat any food she wants now, and she's totally healthy. So I thought this was fascinating. I can't wait to get my Nutrimill and to get my wheat berries. And I'm going to start making my own bread because I make my own bagels. I make my own protein cookies. I use the Kodiak protein pancake mix, and I'll make cookies with that and pancakes with that. But if I can get a nutritional source that is giving me all the vitamins I need, this wheat berry flour basically has all the vitamins you need except for like C, B12, and two others. But it basically is a whole nutrition of food and minerals. It's vitamin and minerals. It's like so good for you. And it's so good for your gut and all of that stuff. This lady, Sue, she said her kids have never had a runny nose. They've never had allergies, like, because she's been doing this for a million years. And I think she lives in a farm in Atlanta, something like that. So if you're interested in listening to that, you should go listen to it. Sue Becker on, I forgot, the Apothecary, something Apothecary podcast, or you can just look at her website. And it's really good because basically she's saying there's no gluten allergy. People don't have a gluten problem. It's the actual flour you're buying. Even the ones that say organic, even the ones from Whole Foods, none of them are a full nutrient because the whole thing is once you mill it, you have to cook it right away or you're not getting the full nutrients. So there's no way around it. You have to mill your own flour, grind it basically, and cook it right away. That's where you get the best nutrients. Any flour you're buying in the store, whether it's organic, whether it's anything, it's not the same. So you need to mill your own flour. If you're having stuff or you want to just be healthier or you have health issues, I want you guys to try it. Let me know. I'm going to try it and I will report back. I know somebody that's like chronically doubled over in stomach pain and they've always had issues, and I told them to try it too because apparently that's the way to go. You can buy the wheat berries on this lady's website, or you could buy it anywhere. Actually, Amazon, they sell it everywhere. Four Generations is another store. They said they online that it has really good customer service, and they recommend buying the big like cans and then getting like a twist top so it stays locked but easy to access, and that way it'll last you forever, and it's cheaper. It's cheaper than buying the flour at the store anyways. So I'm excited about it. And I wanted to share that because I know so many people struggle with bloating and health issues and stomach issues. And who doesn't want to eat bread? Apparently, it tastes better. It has more flavor. And it's great. Like, you just always have frozen bread in your fridge, in your freezer. And you eat bread with butter every day. And it's making you healthy. And it's, like, good for you. And it tastes good. So I'm going to do it. I'm going to end the show with that. And I hope you come on the journey with me of milling your own bread. She also said if you want to go through all that and buy all the products and all that, just buy the wheat berries and boil them and make them in your salad, in your rice bowls and stuff like that. And you're still getting the same nutrients. You don't have to mill it to get the nutrients. You just have to eat the wheat berries. So anyways, she likes to do a mix of hard red wheat berries and hard white wheat berries, so that's what I'm going to try first. So with that, I leave you, and happy content consuming, happy watching your shows, movies, and enjoying the summer indoors in the air conditioning with your dogs. And I'll see you next time. Bye.